Shalom, what's going on? You already know what goes on this page, man. Sirach chapter 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in it, Salakia. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So I'm bringing out this Second Corinthians 2 and 11 because of what I'm about to go into. I'm about to read a passage out of the Satanic Bible that was written by Anton LaVey. Now, some people would look at it, even Christianity, they would look at it like, that's the Satanic Bible. Why the hell are you reading that Bible? I'm reading this Bible so I can know how this nigga operate. For instance, a lot of people don't know about birthdays being in the Satanic Bible in page 67. And I have the PDF for the Satanic Bible right here. Slovakia. I have it. It has 146 pages. You probably can't see that. Gotta let it. Yeah. But it has 67 pages, 46, Slovakia. And on page 67, it talks about birthdays. Now you got to ask yourself this, cousin. Why do we have so much a craving, a want to celebrate birthdays? Why? What is it about? It's about this sense of pride that you have, this ego that you have, that you can do whatever you want on your birthday. That's why people celebrate birthdays. They know it's all about them. They want to be worshiped and praised. You know, especially in the younger years. They want to be worshiped and praised. When they get older, you know, it starts dying down a little bit. But people wear dollars connected. You know, everybody give them $1 for their birthday. They go out and have a drink. And when they have a drink, it's fully set in their heart to yell out, "It's my birthday today," because they want everybody to focus on them. Now let's read this passage. It says religious holidays. It says the highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birth. This is this is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions, which defy a particular God who has been created in an anthropomorphic I was just saying this word earlier. I can't say it right now. Anthropomorphic. Anthrophic. I'm slaughtering the word. But it says form of their own image, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. So that's why in the church, we talking about the church, that comes from the wilderness. The Israelites, the real original Hebrew Israelites, we throw out birthdays because we understand that it's a sign of an ego. You're worshiping yourself. So we throw it out. A lot of people, they have a problem with that. So they come in, and when they hear about birthdays, they either play around until their birthday come around, then they want to celebrate their birthday, then they want to go back to what they're doing. In the truth, however way they do it, they try to find, avenues, and they try to maneuver to still keep this birthday, under I was having a bad, it was a bad time period for me. Whatever excuses people got, man, there's not going to be any excuse for you celebrating stuff like this. We didn't write this. This is in a Satanic Bible. When was this book written? When was the Satanic Bible written? It says 1969 by Avon, commissioned to capitalize on the 1968 film Rosemary's Baby. So late 1960s. In Rituals of the Church of Satan, emphasize atheism, self-centered philosophy. Anton Sadar LaVey. He's the author. Anton LaVey. A bald-headed Edomite. So, going back. It says, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. The Satanist feels why not really be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? If you're gonna create a God, man, make him yourself. That's why a lot of niggas walk around. Oh, we is God. We is God. We is God. You denouncing the Most High when you say that. We're okay. We baby gods, but is there a Most High God? Because that's our argument. There's a Most High God that we need to be following His ways, His laws, His instructions. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what Bible means. Before you get the ultimate judgment. Because if you die and you're not in the right state, bro, there's a judgment after that. They tell you that in Second Esdras. There's a judgment after death, man. We're not talking about hell. We're talking about when you be woken up to get judged. So it says, every man is a god if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year. Think about it. This is how they really operate in the world. It's before Christmas, Easter, 4th of July, their birthday. They go all out for their birthday every year. Every year. And that's how you know we're a disciplined people, because something that carries so much energy and weight, we cast it, we throw it away. We don't even cast it to the side. We throw it in the trash and let the trash man come get it. That's what we do. So it says, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you have never even met? Giving these niggas straight, they cheesing these niggas. This is called psychology, playing with people's mind. Esau is great at this. Going back to Alfred Kinsey and all these, you don't know about Alfred Kinsey. A lot of people don't know about Anton LaVey with the Satanic Bible that we read. Alfred Kinsey was a sex biologist who did things like that. They wanted to see how far back he and his team wanted to go back and see how far a man and a woman age-wise can, ejaculate, climax. So they was going back to ages back. We ain't even gonna go how low the ages was, but they got little children trying to, putting machines on them, making them try to, this is Edomite activities. The Satanic Bible. Black people don't just read the Satanic Bible. This is Edomite activities. Leave this shit to them. But guess what? Birthdays are included in these Edomite activities. We didn't do that. We gave all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, man. That's what we did. So let's keep reading. It says, or for that matter, aside from religion holidays, why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to the day in history than we do to the day we were brought into the greatest of all worlds? Despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here. You should give yourself a pat on the back. Buy yourself whatever you want. Treat yourself like the king or god that you are, and generally celebrate your birthday with as much pomp and ceremony as possible. See that? Even when we feel like getting in a ceremonial praise, it still goes back to the Most High. That's why we have wave offerings. We have peace offerings. A peace offering is you just in the spirit and you just want to celebrate and dedicate, you just want to do some dedication with some sacrificing. We do that for the Most High. We go to his altar. We say his name. We don't replace him with ourselves. That's called idolatry. That's idolatry, man. So this is idolatry. You idolizing yourself and you want to be idolized by other people. That's why all these women get BBLs. They see that's the trend of getting the most attention, and they're going and risking their lives getting fucking plastic shot in their ass, man. That's what they do. That's how much, that's how powerful the energy of wanting to be worshipped is. So it says, after one's own birthday, the two major satanic holidays are Wall Purse Snatch and Halloween, or All Hallows Eve. So even in the Satanic Bible, it talks about Halloween. There's not just different translations of the Satanic Bible. No, there's only one Satanic Bible that has many copies. The original copy is saying birthdays and Halloween is how you is a part of the major holidays in the Satanic religion. It says Saint Walpurgis or Walpurga or Walburga, depending upon the time and area in which one is referring to her. So this is a woman. Was born in Sussex about the end of the 7th or the beginning of the 8th, and was educated at Windburg. So look, I want to skip all this because birthdays is what I wanted. So I want to drop down a little bit. It says, the eve of May has been memorialized as the night that all the demons, specters, afrits, and banshees would come forth and hold their wild revels, symbolizing the fruition of the spring equinox. This is crazy. It says, matter of fact, watch this. So it says, Walpurgis Night, Central North Europe, Edomite shit. These are Edomite activities, dude. Halloween, birthdays, Walpurgis Night. Listen to what it says. Focuses on witches and dark spirits gathering. Later got exaggerated into demonic festivals in folklore and literature. The belting, which is Celtic tradition, marks the transition into summer, celebrates fertility, fire, and new life. Spring reaching full strength. The spirit activity idea comes from the belief that the veil between worlds was thin. So this is another celebration that satanic people keep, and I'm sure today it's been turned into a regular common holiday that people keep. Straight up. Because I know reveling is like excessive partying and shit. So it says reveling is wild celebrating, letting loose without restraint, like I said. Loud, chaotic celebration, often tied to drinking, dancing, or disorder, sometimes even immoral or reckless behavior. So basically going to the club. So this April 30th that happens, now it happens every Friday night and Saturday night. So it says, the eve of May has been memorialized as the night that all the demons, specters, afrits, and banshees would come forth and hold their wild revels. Think about it. That's what these young niggas be doing. A lot of these niggas are witches because they sell drugs. A lot of these niggas are demons because, nigga, they ready to kill their own people for no reason. For no reason. Like, I remember one time, the last time I went to it was a bar, but it was a bar that be jumping. So it looks like a club, but it was just a bar. I'm in there chilling with the brothers, we chilling, just, checking the scene out. We just chilling, bro. I'm in the truth. We just chilling. It's not a sin to go to a bar if you want to know. But we just in that mug chilling. We had like 3 dudes. It was kind of packed. We had 3 dudes come, literally standing in front of us, but their backs is turned towards us. And we all looking at the stage, because it's the DJ up there. We listening to the music he playing. So 3 dudes came and stood in front of us with their backs toward us. And They just kept turning around like we was just mean, like we was just staring at them or something. Like, brother, you literally just stood in our way. We're looking at the stage. We're going to continue to look at the stage. So if you get in front of us, we're going to continue to look at the stage. But they was turning it to make it seem like we was mugging them and we had a problem with them because they came and stood in front of us. That's demonic as hell. That's demonic as hell. That's a demonic spirit that's on it. This is the kind of shit they be going on. And it's like, bro, it's like, okay, cool. I'm cool on all this shit now. Let them niggas have that shit. Now, if I want to throw a bar, I invite all the brothers and sisters to the house. The sisters over here and the brothers in the backyard, we lifting weights and we playing music and we rapping and shit. That's what we be doing. Same difference. No friction, no jealousy, no women being messy, none of that. So it says another one, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, or All Saints Day, falls on October 31st or November 1st originally. All Hallows Eve was one of the great fire festivals of Britain at the time of the Druids. In Scotland, it was associated with the time when the spirits of the dead, the demons, witches, and sorcerers were usually active and propitious. Paradoxically, All Hallows Eve was also the night when young people perform magical rituals to determine their future marriage partners. The youth of the villages carried on with much merrymaking and sensual revelry. We just went over that word revel. It says, but the older people, that's why they be having Halloween parties. That's why they be doing stuff like that. It's exactly this, All Hallows Eve. And I've been to a Halloween party. Halloween parties are the most nastiest parties you can ever go to. I'm talking about they be literally having G-strings on. They literally have skirts that just covers the top of their ass and that's it, with nothing else under it. On the dance floor, bending over, twerking on a dude with no panties on. And man, I'm telling you, it goes down in the All Hallows parties, Halloween parties. Because you can dress up as whoever the hell you want to. A maid, you know exactly what I'm saying. You can dress up wherever you want to, man. And honestly, I actually want to eventually start talking about shit like that on this page. This page ain't gonna be for the weak. This is gonna be straight reality shit on this page. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's gonna be on this page. And that's the kind of stuff you see in them Halloween parties. A whole bunch of nastiness. Straight up with whole demonic spirits on them. You got niggas in there selling drugs, selling ecstasy. Niggas in there selling acid. Niggas in there selling, bars, tabs, oxycontins. Niggas in there selling it all, man. Weed, cocaine. That's a party drug right there. So it's a lot of cocaine involved. This is the revelry that we're reading about. Not just normal, just partying and kicking it. That's fine. No, these are rituals. Like these is unusual shit goes on. People walk around naked. Like that's like the Bacchus, the Feast of Bacchus, or the Feast of Dionysus, or the Temple of Diana. When you go read about those things, that wasn't normal shit. And Lord willing, I can touch on some of those things. What was going on in the Temple of Diana? What was going on in, these historical places that tourists go and visit? Shit was nothing but evil, man. Nothing but evil. So it says, the youth of the villages carried on with much merrymaking and sensual revelry, but the older people took great care to safeguard their homes from the evil spirits, witches, and demons who had exceptional power that night. So it was like the purge that night. And people would lock up their homes in fear of what the youth would come and do to them. That kind of makes sense on why the kids come and knock on your door at night. But they dressed it up as trick or treat. Give me something good to eat. Give me some candy. If you don't, there's a consequence. That's what they say. Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat if you don't. And there's a punishment behind it. It's like a riddle, but it's not a good riddle, obviously. The original Halloween, All Hallows Eve, was not good. Now they dressed it up to make it seem like it's innocent, but the origin behind it isn't. It's like us celebrating the death of Christ. Why would we celebrate that he died? No, we're celebrating that he died, buried, and resurrected. That's what we celebrate. His resurrection, the glory of God. But no, the Roman Catholic Church, they celebrate his death, man. They like to walk around with fake crosses on their back down the street with wheels on them and shit. Like they take pride. They like his death more than anything. They talk about his death more than anything. They don't talk about how he gives life and how we should follow him and experience this life. They don't talk about that. So it says a little bit more. It says the solstices or equinoxes are also celebrated as holidays as they herald the first day of the seasons. Okay, so that's it on that. That's it. That's it on that. So as you can see, birthdays should not be celebrated. Should not be celebrated amongst the Hebrew Israelites, amongst our nation. That's not our custom. That's not our culture. Those are Edomite activities, man. And we got to accept that for that, man. Until next time, Shalom.